Welcome back to a brand new episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. And this week, we have a very special, glorious old MIC cast member and current Below Deck cast member, Fraser!
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Podcast. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm as tanned as you for once.
No, I think you're darker.
Well, I bloody hope so.
Well, you do live on a boat.
Do I?
No.
Absolutely
you live
not.
below the deck.
Although I just came back from a trip and we chartered a boat.
So wait.
First time. So now I'm the charterer.
That's roles have been reversed.
Yeah, thank God for
How
that.
did you treat the staff?
Very well. However, very well. They weren't that great.
Really? Do you find now that you really judge people on their...
I always have and always will. But I do think that now being in this role and specifically watching someone do their job, obviously I wasn't an arsehole. I didn't tell them
You
to
didn't
do
give
it
them
better. I didn't do
tips?
any tips, nothing like that. But, internally rolled my eyes a lot.
I would find that really hard. If someone was doing something really badly, I'd be like, listen, let me just do it.
True, and that was really hard to fight. But what was good is that the chief stew didn't actually know me from the show.
Oh, yeah.
So it was great. She wasn't under any pressure.
But I wonder if they did know if they would have upped their game.
Kind of hope that they did. Yeah.
Did you leave a big tip?
No comment, obviously. But it's all past it.
Back to Made in Chelsea. I was trying to remember this. How long ago was it that you were on Chelsea? Because that's when I first met you on... Did I meet you on Made in Chelsea or did I meet you through Lucy?
We met filming that. We were it's a big house
Non-such
somewhere.
hall, non-such mansion.
Yeah.
I only know because we filmed there so many
yeah.
times. And you were with Tom.
I was with Tom. I had a big fight with Steph that day.
How many years ago? Was this like 5 or 6
So it was
years
season
ago?
11. I have no idea when.
Season 11, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like now season 26. So that was probably
A while ago.
good long time ago. And you were only on it for about a year.
I did one season. But I was also working a job, unlike the rest of the crew.
How dare you, cast.
Sorry.
Actually, that's
Cast,
safe to say
whatever.
that probably is true. I only got into lube recently.
And I don't want to, throw MIC under the bus too much, but I was filming evening scenes at 6:30 a.m. before I went to work. And I would just block out the windows.
I think you can't, you definitely can't do both, have a job and do
No,
that. I forgot
absolutely
about all
not.
that.
Yeah.
And then when did you join Below Deck?
5 years ago now.
Oh my God. Can I just say it's one of my favourite shows?
Good.
It's just
Should
such a
be.
good reality show because I think
Yeah.
it's because you guys are doing something and then you get the sort of gossipy stuff behind the scenes.
Well, I think it's just also people don't see these shows. Reality doesn't really usually revolve around people working. If it does, they're not really working.
But okay, wait, just let's start from the beginning quickly.
Yeah.
Did you have to do some form of like exam or something to then get to where you are?
Yeah, so you need qualifications.
So you need to do a bit of life saving and all that rubbish.
Yes, yeah. So you do something called STCW, and it's basically what all seafarers need to legally work on a vessel.
Okay.
And then to add to that, if you want to do further education on deck, to know more about this and the other, you could just do as much as you want or as least as you want, but you do need the STCW.
So wait, how long were you a stew before you started Below Deck, or was it you straight away
No,
just...
2.5 years. You have to be a yachty.
you have to have done it, okay.
Yeah, you have to be a yachty to be casted.
Well, when did Below Deck actually start?
12 years ago.
Shit.
So Below Deck is essentially a reality TV show based on the lives and the working lives of a crew of yachties looking after charter guests on a super yacht. And it just sort of follows our day to day.
And the shit
The
that goes down.
triumphs, yeah, and the
I mean, it looks
disasters.
full on.
It's hell.
At least with like Made in Chelsea, I can go home and not have to speak to people.
No.
You've got to get into bed with them.
6 weeks, basically. 6 weeks of filming, 24 hours a day, looking after assholes.
Do you the right way? Explain. So people get on
Yeah.
4 or 5 days.
Yes.
Then you get
3 to 5. Yeah.
and then you get a day off.
To turn the boat around for the next group.
So you don't actually get any break from filming.
No.
It's like Big Brother slightly on steroids, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. Well, we have these things called dark days, and
Yeah.
that's because legally you have to give your camera crew a day off every
It's about
sort
the
of
crew, isn't it?
6.
Forget the fucking talent.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
no,
I also
no,
love the way we're
no,
called the talent.
totally.
I've got absolutely no talent whatsoever.
But yeah, so it's giving the camera crew a break from us and from the job because they're running around with enormous cameras and audio bits.
How
and
big's the
bobs.
crew?
I think, so we have about 80 to 90 in production out there. And then on the boat per day, you get about 50 turning over. Yeah.
Oh my God, what?
No.
And they're in a little boat on the side just nipping on and off?
So we've got a chase boat that follows us, and they'll have lunch on there, and they've got their own little crew and whatever. And then on board, we have 2 control rooms, I think they call them, where you've got loads of producers in there all day, just listening, marking what was interesting, what wasn't. Think about it. 24 hours a day for 6 weeks, the amount of footage they have to then go through and post is nuts.
That's actually a really big production.
Yeah. It's huge.
And so now about the guests.
Yeah.
I find them fascinating.
Yeah.
Firstly, do they pay to go? How does it work? Do they get selected as guests to go on the yacht?
Yeah, so they have a casting team that will specifically look for the guests.
Oh, fine. Guests that are on some sort of database of you could potentially want to be on Below Deck, or
I don't know.
Okay, fine.
I don't care. All I know is that they're all tripe, utter tripe, human tripe. And I have to smile and look after them.
No, stop.
Every year. Yeah.
Okay, wait, but they actually do have to pay.
Yeah, it's a hugely discounted rate compared to.
But it's as if you were to charter a yacht.
Yeah, I mean a huge discount.
Okay,
so
fine.
I'm not coming from yachting.
Yeah.
I'm funnily enough not looking after the same caliber of human being, and consequently, we don't have the same caliber of drama.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And so but like with the tipping, that is genuine tipping.
Yeah, 100%. What you see is what we get.
Okay, right. What's the worst experience you've had with guests?
Well, I'm struggling to think of any good ones, but bad. This year, in an upcoming episode, we have a woman that we have to remove by force.
No, stop.
And we were in St. Bart's, and I speak French, so they sent me, my captain was like, can you please go and pick up the police from the dock and bring them to the boat because we need this woman gone. And I was like, that's really embarrassing for us, just FYI, like the fact we can't control a drunk woman.
Yeah.
We couldn't. She tried to punch him in the face.
Wait, sorry, slow down.
It's coming up, so but yeah, you'll see. It's nuts. Anyway, and so I got to the dock and I was like, hi, really sorry, but we're on a big boat over there. We've got a guest who's nuts. Can you arrest her? And they were like, no, we can't arrest her. We can't, by law, we can't get onto your vessel. And I was like, so could we escort her to the tender and you guys can take her off? They're like, yeah, but when we get back to land, we're just going to have to leave her because she's not done anything bad on land. And I was like, just get her off.
Wait, what? But what do you do in that situation? Make a citizen's arrest?
I give a gorgeous look of disgust and get back to work.
Wait, what happens to the old tart? Where's she?
Honestly, not my problem anymore. She just figures her shit out.
Wait, so did you actually dump her off?
Yep.
Oh my God, stop. I should be on this boat. This would be heaven. The people we could send aboard.
Yeah.
Send a whatever.
The primary guest then leaves because I need to look after my friend. I was like, okay, fine. I still got a charter to run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's quite mental actually. Yeah. And do you, are people can people be quite rude? Do you think put on for the TV benefit, or are they actually just bleep it but cunts?
Asked questions.
Really?
And I think that, to go on television for your holiday takes a certain someone.
Yeah.
And that...
Or just go on TV generally.
Or just, true. We're all on that boat. But I think that what I love is that these guests come on and they think they control the narrative.
Yeah.
But they don't get to do green screen interviews. They don't get to speak about me in their own time after reflecting on what's just happened. And that's my job. So if they want to give me shit and if they want to give me attitude and they want to be assholes for the duration of their trip, I will then
go ham on them and they'll watch it a few weeks later.
Yeah, as much as I possibly can. But they still do it. They still try. And I still continue to destroy their careers. And that's fine. It's a deal that we have, It's obvious to me that's going to happen.
So good. Okay, so right, talk me through it. Your full day in the life as Chief Stew.
So it's my job to control
everyone.
Pretty much.
What time are you waking up?
So first few weeks is always different because I want to make sure that everyone's doing what they have to do. So we've got late shifts and morning shifts and all the rest, but I like to oversee all of it until I'm comfortable with allowing them to do stuff whilst I'm not there.
Yeah.
So it's waking up, making sure that breakfast service is immaculate.
And what time's that?
So I would the stews would be up between 5:30 and 6, or the morning person. laying the table, making sure that everyone from the lates the night before has done their
Cleared
checklist of
everything, yeah.
things. Because if a guest is to wake up in the middle of the night, the boat needs to be immaculate and it needs to be perfect. And so there always needs to be essentially a crossover of sorts there. And then we move on to absolutely everything I have planned that day, whether that's a beach excursion, whether it's a beach picnic, whether it's activities here and there on land or on the water. I just make sure that everyone's doing what they need to do when they need to do it. That sounds really quick and basic, but ultimately...
No, I watched it. It definitely is not that quick and basic.
And again, people only see 41 minutes of 48 hours. So a lot of people have a lot to say on...
What kind of feedback? What kind of stuff do people say? But negative?
Yeah.
What? Like what?
But the best thing is all of these people are usually unemployed themselves, haven't worked a day in their lives, usually slightly oversized, and not the best. Usually have a display picture of a cat,
and
they have the audacity to come for me and my child.
That is actually my favourite thing, when you get a bit told by someone who's looking at their bio and it's like peace, love and friends and family.
Always.
And you're like, really?
Yeah.
My arse.
Yeah, always.
Wait. And then I want to quickly, what happens if you really do not get along with someone that's below you? As in staff, as in like your second stew or whatever. Can you have a say on whether they remain on the boat or...
I could definitely suggest it to captain. I mean, I can only really do that.
Yeah.
I think if I fired someone without asking captain first, he'd be like...
But has someone been on who's good at their job but you seriously don't get on with?
Yes, last season, that you described it perfectly. I really, really didn't like her attitude. She was so rude. She spent days sometimes just not looking me in the eye or walking away mid-conversation. And I... brought it to the captain numerous times and he liked her and he sort of has the...
They kept her on?
Yeah. She was good at her job. Again, so it's different.
That's really
so you've got to play
hard.
with, are they helpful towards the season and the success of our charters? Or is that overwhelming and overbearing? And it was, but I had no choice the other day.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I'd find that really hard.
But also it teaches me, which is something that's been great, that, in life we're always going to work alongside people we... detest.
But that's you're in a very small space. Like that's slightly different. I mean, it's one thing filming a dinner party scene with your ex-boyfriend, let alone living in a bloody cabin with a girl.
Very true.
That,
Yeah. But it's made me, stronger and better.
What do you think is the one big thing you've learned from doing that about yourself?
I can put up with a hell of a lot more than I ever thought I could.
Really?
And I treat it so strictly professionally.
Yeah.
And I love the job that I'm able to remove my emotions, I think, to a degree, and my personal opinions on people to get a job done.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you find that you keep your cool a lot better, or do you you don't lose it?
It's taken 30 years, 32, but now I'm really proud of being at a point where I'm not so reactive.
Yeah. Were you on day one when you started?
Oh God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I couldn't control what I said or how, I was just, it just wasn't in a good way. Now I'm able to step back, take a breather, and then confront the situation with what's,
what role did you have when you first started?
So in yachting.
Yeah.
Sorry, before the show.
Yeah.
I was a crew member to the crew. I was bottom of the barrel bitch. Yeah. So worked my way up from that. So have seen all the roles, so know exactly what they entail, which helps as a leader.
Yeah.
But on Below Deck, I started as a second.
Okay.
And then made my way up to
How
two.
many years did it take you to get to head chief stew?
Well, it took me 3.
Is that normal? Is that, no.
No, but I started at 26, which is ancient in yachting.
Oh, so I'm a bit far gone then. Because I was going to say, if this doesn't go well, that...
You're ash to them at this point.
Oh, really? What are you talking about? I've seen some old farts mincing around on the deck.
Me? No, I know.
Wait, also, sorry.
No. But in yachting, if you're to start at 26...
Oh, right.
So starting...
Yeah.
Most Saffers or South Africans, is that rude to Saffers?
What?
South Africans usually start, they're known to start at 18, their parents get on the boat quickly, and they've just come straight from the bosom, so they know nothing and they're awful and entitled. Not all of them, but that's the experience I've had with some. Whereas I started at 26.
Why did you decide to do it? What suddenly...
I was working as a model agent for many years, as you know, and it was my dream job and it just wasn't cutting it. I was like, why am I not happy? I've done everything to be in this position. And then fortunately was a guest on a boat with my ex, and it was miserable, utterly miserable. I was on a super yacht in the south of France. What could not be so great about that? But in my head, I was just absolutely at the bottom. And I remember hearing some laughter, and I was like, what is that? And I peered over having my morning coffee, and there were 4 crew, stunning, tanned, happy, jovial, enjoying their job. And I was in such awe of what they were going through that I thought, fuck it. I'm going to go home, quit, and become a yachty.
Oh my God.
So I went home, saw my family, and I was like, I'm doing this. They were like, mental breakdown. And I was like, fine. And then packed a big backpack, moved into a yachting hostel.
No, stop. I
Which
can't
I
imagine.
thought hostel was just a motel, but it's not. It's just, well, mine didn't have a door. So that was an interesting awakening.
From Maine and Chelsea to a hostel.
But you have to do it that way.
Yeah.
And you're not taken seriously if you don't. So I, just did that and then sold my soul to the industry.
That's quite amazing, actually. Who else did you meet in the hostel? Was it other people then?
I left as quick as I arrived. And I made a little group of friends who seemed more likely to want to get an Airbnb as opposed to stay there.
Of course.
And then we just got Airbnbs in South France until we found jobs.
Well, yeah, how do you find that? You do apply to some sort of like recruitment
so you
place?
apply to like all agencies out there. And then you dock walk.
Do you go in like a specific category? Like, do they look for a certain amount of men,
So
or is
you're
it
called green. It doesn't matter
That's
what
it,
you've done,
okay.
you're just a greenie.
Yeah.
And it's just who can get the job over the next. Personality hires do help.
Yeah. And languages, because you always speak.
And languages really help as well. But at that point, you take anything you can get. Because as soon as you have something, you then move on to something with experience of having something. But it's getting that first role.
Is it weirdly quite a competitive industry?
Incredibly so.
Really?
And especially since Below Deck's come out, it's totally oversaturated.
Yeah, because
with
it does
morons that
look
just watch the
phenomenal.
show.
Like, I'm not being funny. Those tips, are you joking? And also, you've got not barely any expenses. You're just
None.
none.
No, it's
amazing.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. But yeah, you dock walk, which is soul destroying.
Oh, like fucking door knocking.
Literally.
Hello,
So you
sailor.
have
I've
your
done
little
that,
CV.
but not looking for a job, looking for a husband.
Yeah, well, same actually. It still hasn't worked out for me. So, but dock walking did. So you have a CV in hand. You look like a moron. You're walking up and down the dock between like 7 and 9 o'clock and speaking to crew who are just getting along with their day, trying to work on a boat and being like, "Excuse me, just wondering if you're looking for a job. Or a position available. Here's my CV," and they're like, ew. Every single time. And you're like, oh, cool, tomorrow I'm going to dress like this because maybe yesterday was a bit too preppy for them and all this shit. Meanwhile, no one gives a shit. No one wants to hire you. And ultimately, someone taking your CV on board really isn't good. They're not going to hand it to the captain.
Yeah.
And if they're
Bloody
looking for a
hell.
job, they usually go to an agency who can get them someone they actually need.
Yeah.
That was hell.
And how long did that go on for?
2 weeks. Then I decided to take a break because it was too much. So I went,
Break from handing out your CV.
Yeah. So I went to Ibiza for a week and then came back and did it again. Still didn't get a job through doing
Wait,
that.
sorry, hang on. How did you eventually get the first job?
Through an agency,
Right.
and they were like, "We've got a position open. We realise you're basically dead in the industry, but would you like to be a crew member to the crew?" Which means I didn't even guest face for the first season. That's how low I was.
What were you doing? Just running around bringing coffees?
To the crew,
Why don't you say that like it's so bad?
cleaning the crew areas. It's crew mess stew. Awful.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's the other thing. It's the cleanliness.
I had to let go of all sense of ego.
Really? It's probably quite a good thing. Brought you back
very
down to
humbling
earth.
experience.
I was going to ask you quickly, actually, what is, sorry, so jumping away, what is the most absurd demand that a guest has requested on a boat that you thought, you know what, you need to bring yourself back down?
A recent one is they wanted, so they woke up at 7 a.m, worked out, and then said, it's at 7 worked out, but just before he went to go work out, he said, I'm going to need an ice bath. And I was like, right. And he was like, could you just do that in the hot tub? And I was like, yes. We don't say no on boats. And I walked away and I thought, that's actually just not going to work, is it? So I walked back and I said, would you mind if I did your bath instead? Because I think the hot tub would be better because everyone can get it. And I was like, first of all, how much ice do you think we have on this boat? And second of all, the bath is going to have to do. Ended up actually making it work in the bath, which is great. But he was genuinely serious and really didn't sort of back down to having the entire hot tub turned into ice bath within an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
And the rule is you really can't say no to the guests?
It's not a rule, but it's like you shouldn't.
What's
You should
like...
suggest other things as opposed to saying no.
But what if they're like, what would they have to do to be kicked off? Like what, drugs, drinking?
Yeah, it depends on the captain.
They're not allowed to do drugs, are they? Because there was one incident where a guy, they thought he was doing drugs. I'm talking about the guests.
Yeah, it depends on the captain.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like a lot of, we have celebrities and lots of people who like to smoke weed, for example, down to the captain. I've seen every drug under the sun.
Really?
Yeah.
What, while you're filming?
Not on the show.
No.
Sorry, I'm talking about more yachting.
Oh, right.
Not on the show, there's absolutely none of it.
What big celebs have you, I was about to say chauffeured for. I meant
Chauffeured, that's a new one.
For. Or been a stew for.
What? Yeah. Ones that we can't mention.
Oh, you can't mention them.
Good old NDA shit.
Yeah, fucking hell, that's quite mental. If you have any like big celebs, do you sign NDAs? This is not on Below Deck, just generally.
Yeah, all the time. Usually you just sign it to get to work on the vessel, and then anyone who comes onto it as a charter guest is included within that NDA.
Have you ever known anyone who's broken that? Like, have you ever worked with anyone who's gone around saying things that went on? No.
I'm sure they've told their family and friends or whatever, but it's never, I don't think it's bitten them in the arse.
What's, sorry, I'm just asking a million questions. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened while you've been on board?
We ran aground in my first season.
Oh, Below Deck? Where were you?
No, first season of yachting, yeah.
Where were you?
Where were we? Croatia, I think.
And what actually happened?
I had to pretend that we didn't. So I guess. Try that as an obstacle in your day-to-day.
Actually, that's what I'd love to know. How much shit really goes on that you then have to just...
all of it. So our objective is to make their lives and experience totally seamless and seem as though no effort has been put into it. That's the sort of mask we put on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're sweating profusely, breaking limbs, mental breakdowns, punching each other. But we make it work, and I think that's the beauty. That's what I loved about it. Sort of making the impossible seem totally.
Did you,
easy.
obviously doing Below Deck would have been fun as in filming it, but what was other than it being filmed, the way it ran from when you were doing just normal yachting to Below Deck, what was like the biggest?
Honestly, the main thing is I don't get to pick my crew on Below Deck. They have casting directors for that.
Yeah.
And obviously, which I found out recently, or sort of heard a whole new perspective on the matter, is that I have 8 people whose 9 to 5, 12 months out of the year is to find people they know I will hate and will hate me.
That's amazing.
That's their job, their full-time job. We wonder why I do therapy. And then, so in real life, I get to take them on. I get to trial. I get to get to know them, and then I pick them.
Yeah.
Based on their
Skill.
work ethic and personalities. So there I don't, which is obviously different. And then obviously camera crew. That's the only other thing.
Yeah.
But if you don't, forget that they're there, you're going to struggle. And if you put on an act, there's only so much you can keep it for 6 weeks.
Because I obviously noticed this with some of the cast on Chelsea, but can you tell with people, as in cast members on Below Deck, very easily when they're putting something
100%.
on? Do a lot of them do that?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Can you shame any of them?
Yeah.
Tell me their names.
No, I can't. It's very, you'll know this too. It's very obvious.
Yeah.
And also, what I really hate, and you usually don't, I also don't care until the end of a season now. I'm like, listen, I've got a job to do. If you want to do this whole thing, fine. I haven't got time, but do your job. And then you can do whatever you like. As long as your job's being done, I don't care.
Yeah.
But when we wrap a season and we get to see them post-wrap and they are a totally different person, and it's happened at least 4 times now, which so obviously changed. How sick do you have to be someone else for that long?
No, but also, how can you keep up with it?
That's what I'm trying to say. They are ill.
They are sick.
But it's fascinating.
No, that is remarkable. People like that do baffle me. That is slightly psychotic.
Yes,
what's the time gap between when you film and when it airs?
Usually it's about 9 months.
Shit, see, that is a long time.
This year it was a year and 3.
Why so long?
Basically, they had filmed too many seasons. They had too many ready post-production in the bank and not enough weeks in the year to get them out. So they thought, fuck it, we're just going to take this one off, which is a bit of a shit show because I haven't had a salary since March 2024.
That's outrageous. You'll have to get back to being the crew, whatever
right?
it was.
No, never.
But so do you still do normal stewing now? No, just do Below Deck.
No, I gave that up as soon as I could.
Oh, so wait, but when you started Below Deck, were you still doing stewing?
Yes.
Yes.
And then after I started to appear on TV. Obviously, yachties claim that they don't watch the show. Every single one of them watches it.
It's like people who say they don't watch Made in Chelsea.
Yeah, and they're all just so jealous they didn't get picked to do it. I'm like, get over yourselves. It's just shit. So once you do the show, your yachting career truly does die.
Oh, really?
And I just don't care about anyone who says otherwise. Casting directors all say otherwise.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get a job. And if I did get a job...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I tried all different kinds. I tried being upfront and honest, saying I'd done the show.
And why is that? People are just...
They think that it's like every other reality TV show. And I have to say, knowing lots of people in reality TV and other shows, it is the most real of reality TV shows. There is no production input. You don't need to. Throw these mental
into
people
a small space for that
long
amount of time,
and give them the high pressure job list and requirements of guests. You just don't need it.
I would be useless. I'd be saying cunt every 5 minutes.
I do. They just bleep out. In fact, there was a horrible cunt who recently was on the show, a guest. And I dropped something. I was very stressed. I had just planned and organised a festival on land whilst doing their charter. Anything else? Anyway, so, sorry, it was an awful experience. Did this for her. I'm running around like a headless chicken. I had this little plate of shitty little snacks and I dropped one of them on the floor. And she's like, don't think I didn't see that. Look at that mess. Look at what you did. If I cut my foot, that's on you and I'm going to sue you. Like, honestly, in my face like this. No. Whilst I'm on the floor cleaning, she's like this. And then I walk back and I've just found out this has been taken out of the show. Thank God, because I was really worried about it. And I walk back and I speak to myself a lot on the show. And I walk into my sort of area and someone asks if I'm okay. And I said, if that fucking looks at me one more time, I'll break a neck. And I worried about that because I thought that's probably not going to go down well for me. And I'd just been given the all clear that we're not going to be using that.
How much longer was she on the charter after that, though?
That was their last evening. They left the next morning.
Because if I was in that situation and someone's really rude to me, I would find it incredibly hard, firstly, not to say something back, which I know you obviously can't, but then to also have to be around them, knowing they spoke to you badly.
But again, like, it's just it's so part of the job. And you have to understand that you do get wonderful people and you do get assholes. Much do in life, you're confronted with people you hate and you don't. You just have to have a really good game face. But then she was awful. But then I've got quite a good way of letting them know exactly how I feel about them.
Without having to say anything.
No, with as well, because I can't hold back that much.
Yeah.
So like she was screaming and she was like, look at the mess you made. And I was like, you make a mess. I was like, oh, much like the mess you make at the table every time you eat. Like, so fuming.
Do you find it hard to switch off? Like, obviously, I know when you go to bed and stuff, you're not necessarily being... I mean, there are cameras in the bathrooms, right?
In our beds.
But they're like fixed rig. It's not fully anything. Yeah. Do you find it really hard? Can you sort of switch off?
19-hour days working, averaging at 30,000 steps a day on a boat, you fall asleep very quickly. I just clock out. I'm just like, because I know I'm up in 5 hours or 6 hours. I need my sleep and my body, there's no...
When you first started, did you find it hard to sleep on the boats? Or if I didn't notice?
I knew what I was getting myself into. A lot of yachties think they're walking into this gorgeous, glamorous life. Yeah, no, you're moving into a cabin the size of a kennel and you're working like a dog. It's very much actually like dogs in kennels.
So it's actually a job, everyone.
Yeah. Go figure.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about the show?
I think it's the main misconception is that it's staged. It annoys me because I know that other reality TV shows are staged, so staged, and this one is not.
But I think maybe it's because sometimes such ridiculous things happen that you're like, hang on.
It's also a world that's really quite unknown.
Yeah.
It's so very much for the 0.0001% of the world that people have no idea how it works. And it's this insane. And I always say, what I've seen off below deck working on yachts is 10 times worse than what you get to see on the show. Yeah, because there aren't cameras, so people don't have to defend or worry about how they're going to be perceived. And people are fucking nuts. Crew, I'm talking. Oh my God.
Do all the crew hook up? Is there a lot of sort of knocking? Really?
Yeah, constantly.
And drinking. when you're filming Below Deck, obviously you don't drink during charters.
No, if I have to taste a couple cocktails, I will.
You'll gulp them.
And if I accidentally do a shot to
Slip
taste...
into a bottle of...
Yeah, joking. No, I actually got told off one year. They were like, do you want this to be a storyline or are you going to stop having a shot before every dinner service? I'm like, look at these guests. You would do one too.
That's hilarious. Are they quite, what are all the rules and regulations though of how it actually works as a stew? Like if you, I'm talking normal, can't sleep with the clients?
Probably shouldn't. Yeah.
But it's sort of frowned upon, or
if you were to sleep with a guest,
hang on, you had some sort of thing with someone.
Yes, I did.
Come on, quickly, tell me about all this.
So scroll back a little. So so you shouldn't be getting with guests whilst they're on charter.
Okay. And
what
this
you
is
do
real life
afterwards-
and Below Deck.
Yeah, what you do afterwards is your personal life.
Yeah.
And well done if you have, and then bag them full time through marriage. What I did was I had a guest who was interested, and I was quite attracted to this person too, and he'd made this. He mentioned that he would like a New Year's Eve kiss. We were hosting a New Year's Eve party at midnight, and because I wasn't against it, I went to Captain and I asked, I said, what say you if this were ever to happen?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, well, that would be sexual assault. And I was like, okay, fine. What say you if I was really okay for this to happen? And he was like, well, yeah, sure. Just no funny business. And I was like, how dare you? But okay, fair.
Are you actually friends with any of the Below Deck lot away from filming?
2 of them.
Out of how many have you gone through? As in, worked with?
40?
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
But you're the only one who seems to keep returning.
I know.
Fan favourite.
Reddit wouldn't say so in previous years. I'm not on Reddit, and that's for losers, by the way. Yeah, apparently, whatever. Something's working. I don't know.
Well, I think it's because you're quite a hoot. You've just wrapped season 12 of Below Deck. What were the most outrageous moments from this season?
I think the drunk guest being escorted off the vessel and arrested was pretty up there. And then another one was one of my deckies claiming that he'd slept with a charter guest at the beach picnic that I was hosting with her husband about 3 meters away from me.
No, had he?
You'll have to wait and see. I hate to say that, but it's literally like one of the biggest points of this season.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Punchy. Was there anything that happened off camera that was so shocking and didn't make the cut?
Yeah, I think, yes.
Or over the years that you've done it, is there anything that actually was nothing sort of illegal?
Do you know what? Actually, no.
Really?
Well, like a lot of the stuff that doesn't make the cut is stuff that's not part of storyline.
Right.
So like I had a bit of a mentee B last year. Yeah. We film whilst the previous year is airing, which is a fucking stupid idea, and I think they've stopped it now. But I'm having to relive what happened a year ago whilst trying to film a new season and working on this current. And it was such a mindfuck, and I was so upset with production for something that they did.
Yeah, what that they'd aired?
Something that they had picked a side
over something,
which really affected me mentally because it wasn't correct. It wasn't even a side. It was they didn't show anything of something that happened and then just went with other as you know, they like to do that. I thought it was really unfair. Yet I was there daily trying to make this new season the best ever, and I felt really betrayed, and I thought they were setting me up for something, and I did the whole storming out of the restaurant being like, fuck you, I'm so done. And I was like,
mic pack on the floor,
whole thing out. And then like they were still filming me. I was like, why are you so fucking like staring into the camera, those really mental breakdown moments. And then this poor handler who was beside me, because she had to follow me, grabbed her, was hugging her, and I was like, well, you're going to film her too, are you? Like, so embarrassing looking back. Yeah, and she was like...
Oh my God, stop.
That put me out. Yeah.
Do you, when that happens, like if you've ever watched it back and something has played out incredibly different to it has, do you take to social media and say, actually, this is what happened?
No, I think that's pathetic. I think I've signed up to this thing. I don't control the narrative.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a TV show. They know better than me how things are going. Listen, if anyone wants to make me a villain, go for it.
People do like the villain.
Well, they
or the old slapper sometimes.
But do you know? But like, if they want to go with that narrative, you just kind of have to go with it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to therefore be more of an asshole. I'm going to always stick the same. But at the end of the day, they're trying to sell a show, and I get paid if that show does well. So go for gold, bitch.
Good mentality. I think a few people should take on that.
Mm-hmm.
Who were the craziest clients you ever had?
Craziest clients of this season, that woman who I threatened to break her neck. And I think she said I was going to break her jaw. It was one or the other. I mean, it wasn't great either. And then the girl who gets
once when the guests actually like leave the boat, do you ever speak to them in terms of like, do the cameras ever cut and you say, oh, it's actually really nice to meet you? None of that. They literally are off.
No, but they'll usually like, constantly DM you.
Really?
For months off.
Has any guest ever done something while they've been filmed, forgotten about it, and then knowing that the show's come out? Do the guests get scented? No.
But we don't either. We don't see anything until it comes out.
Oh, really?
I get it 2 days before the rest of the world.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what
am I going to do with that? What, have a cry?
Nothing.
Call a producer? Like, no.
But have any guests ever done anything and then been like, you can't use that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But do they sign
But they won't
thing?
have seen it, yeah. We all sign all of our rights to...
But no, but if a guest got rip-roaring drunk and like ran around with her tits
happens
out
a hell
or
of a lot.
something,
Yeah, happens
can
all
they
the time.
then the next day say, do you mind not having that in?
And they'd get laughed at.
So it's that.
And also too right. If you're gonna be an asshole,
they've got to show it.
And that's what they want. They're not casting lovely people.
Do you get a sort of, I know obviously you get the preference sheets.
Yes.
That's literally all you get told about these people in the photograph?
Yeah, preference sheet, an idea of what sort of schedule or activities that they'd like to do.
Yeah.
But these people like to change their allergies daily. One day she'll have a shellfish allergy. Next day she doesn't when that lobster comes to the table.
Do you just call them out and say, hang on, I thought you were allergic to that yesterday?
I don't care. I really don't care anymore. If I was in real life, and so if it wasn't on the show, then I would go for gold. And I still do it now.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, oh. So when you didn't want that shrimp yesterday because you told me you'd have an anaphylactic shock, what's changed? You fucking psycho. But yeah.
That is hilarious.
Or we'll like accidentally give someone lactose who's lactose intolerant. Like, it does happen. You're like, oh, fuck. And then the next day, totally fine.
Really?
You're like, oh, yeah, how lactose
I
intolerant
wonder how
are
many
you?
of them slightly ham it up just to look.
Well, people like to be precious on boats. And they like a little bit, an extra, extra bit of care.
It's because it's all that luxury stuff, isn't it? They love all that. Have you ever had anyone ask for something that you've had to actually call in to get on the boat?
Or constantly.
Like strippers,
Every single trip. Yeah, every single trip.
hookers, blow, the works.
Yeah, done it all.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I bought a Bugatti for someone.
What's that?
A very nice car.
Oh, I thought, sorry, I thought you said
inaccessible
bukkake.
car.
I don't know why I thought. I'm sorry.
Of course you did.
I don't know. I thought you meant like an orgy.
I mean, yeah,
Sorry.
that too.
Sorry.
Yeah,
What? You bought a car for someone?
Mm-hmm. One that's impossible to get.
Where the fuck did you find that?
No people.
That is mental.
That was in the real world.
I'd love a day as the main person.
Honestly.
No,
But
not
it's
as
also
your
brilliant.
job as the one
But
who's
to be honest, the reason why I love it is because usually I work with people who don't have budgets.
Yeah. Oh, they just live a different life.
Yeah,
don't
they do, and you can make anything happen.
Do you just sit there and think, my God, you live in la 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 la?
They don't live in the same world as us. I can tell you that right away. Some of the billionaires I've worked for do not live in the same world.
But I find
For example, time. It's not a thing. And I
What's a
don't mean
weekend?
that as in, 5 minutes late. No, I mean, if they want to go to that restaurant, and if I have some, usually what I'll do with this specific client I had, there was no concept of time whatsoever. So anything was done whenever they were ready. And that was way before or way after, but we had enough money to keep that place open or open that place exclusively for this time and just pay everyone's wages for 2, 3, 4 months to make it happen if we had to. Like no concept of anything. Like a pair of shoes that she had seen in Monaco, but then we were in Saint-Tropez the rest of that afternoon that she needed at 7:00 and it was 5:30.
She'd get someone to go and get them.
We just send a chopper and I send a little stew. And then I'd bring the pair to the lady before she's about to disembark and she'd go, yeah, I didn't want to wear those anyway. We don't have
It's
like
just
budget.
next
It's
level.
nuts. Yeah.
That is mad. I'd find it fascinating.
Same, which is why I'd love to do it.
But isn't it so interesting, like people with loads of money, what they spend it on?
Anything and everything.
Any weird animals ever been on board?
No.
Are you allowed pets on there?
Yeah.
On below deck, do they ever have dogs?
No. Well, just the clients.
What is the one thing, if you could, that you would change about below deck in the future?
Being able to cast my stews, but then it wouldn't be exciting to watch. I'd have actually good people.
Do they get rid of people if they're a bit boring?
Yes, a lot actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Chop.
Yeah.
Shagging, obviously, amongst the cast is fine.
Yeah. Have people been sacked for getting with crew?
Yeah, no, but,
With guests?
yeah.
No. Don't think anyone has.
What about niche, but the camera crew?
Very good
Cast and camera
question.
crew ever hook up?
So the fourth wall is very high on Below Deck. You really cannot have eye contact with crew. Well, you
It was
can.
like Chelsea.
Yeah.
Although I used to always want to look down the lens. You know Phil from Modern Family?
Yes.
You know, when he looks down the thing and goes like that. I wish I was like the
Well,
only
they're starting to sort of include that a bit more because people know that we're not just working.
Yeah.
They know that there's camera crew in front of me that I need to dodge with, my drinks or whatever. So like they're starting to include that, but I think that's really cool because it just makes it more natural. But when I first joined, obviously I'd wake up like a normal human being, and when there were camera crew, first thing in the morning, I'd be like, morning, hi, how are you? And they would just stare at me like I just killed a member of their family. And I was like, fucking rude. And I got into my head that that's, but you cannot have any contact unless it's a producer that might come to you for whatever reason. But I may or may not have at the wrap party on my first season.
Kissed a crew member.
And that person may or may not have got sacked afterwards. But that's not my problem. Don't try and make out with me if you're going to lose your job.
Oh my God, fascinating. Yeah, there was always the odd director on Made in Chelsea. I used to look down the lens and when I was a bit pissed. Anyway, let's not think.
It was also
about
during
that.
COVID, so he had a mask on for the whole thing, so only saw the eyes. And I was like, probably just nice eyes, really. Mask came off.
So did his trousers. It's so annoying. Every time I keep thinking, I was going to ask you something else and I can't remember what it was. Do you, with the crew, when they're actually filming it, are they in the way a lot of the time?
No, they're very good at staying at a distance that works for everyone, which is why I get annoyed when people are like, oh, the camera crew, it's like, no, I have seen it way more than you ever have. Like I've been on for the longest in my franchise now. And people, so like the chef at the beginning of this season now, he left because it was too much for him.
But I don't know how they do it. I would have a complete mental breakdown with doing all that.
Well, it's a lot of work, don't get me wrong. It's probably the hardest job on board. It definitely is the hardest job on board.
Is it the highest paid job?
No.
No, what is? Captain.
Yeah.
Not just on Below Deck, I mean on yachts.
Yeah, probably captain.
Okay. We'll move on.
Yeah. Anyway, hardest job on the board is the chef, 100%. But don't sign up to something
If you can't do it.
that you know full well what is required of you and not do it, and then blame it on cameras.
Oh, is that what they tend to do?
Yeah, the show was too much. You knew what you were getting into. You knew why you were flying here. And I can assure you that they were not in your face.
How many times have you had it where someone's arrived, done a day and been like, fuck this, it's not for me?
It's happened a couple times.
Really?
Yeah. But then they blame it on like a family emergency. I'm like, no, you're
just a pussy.
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. I find this all gripping. Everyone, make sure you're watching season 12. And what have you got coming up this year? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I'm moving to LA in 2 weeks to work on some new projects there.
This is very exciting.
It is. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But no, I'm in a really good place. I just can't wait to be in the sun. It's supposedly summer here and it's raining.
Listen, your tan looks like you've been in the sun for a very long time.
I did just come back from a 5-week holiday, yeah.
So you've done 6 weeks of work for the year and you're out?
Yeah.
What a fucking treat.
Actually, this year, because we didn't film, I actually haven't worked. But...
You're living the fucking life. You'll be sending people off to Monaco to buy you loafers soon.
Hopefully soon, yeah. One day. Be nice.
And will we be seeing you next season of Below Deck?
I absolutely hope so. It'd be ridiculous to not see me on that.
It would be absurd to not have you as the host.
Be odd.
Bossing people around.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. And everyone tune into Below Deck.